Hey, it's Paul. Welcome back to B&B Talk. Do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. Alright, we knew we were going to have a bigger episode than the last one, so I'm going to jump right into it. First thing we see is Ridge, and he says Caroline is hurt and confused, and when she wakes up, it'll make sense to her, but we know that's not going to happen, obviously. And then he tells Brooke that he made the decision on his own when he was in Paris to have the vasectomy. Now, Ridge says that if it were possible for him to be with Caroline, he would have never let her go. So we now know that it was more a knee-jerk reaction, more something that he did not think out or at least consult her in, and that he absolutely regrets it. Then Caroline wakes up to find someone next to her, and she calls out to Ridge, and Thomas turns over with a big smirk on his face. And then Caroline asks Thomas why he's there. I mean, she's alarmed, she's petrified. She has a look like she's been violated and there's a stranger in her bed. And Caroline asks Thomas why he's there. And he tries to touch her and she slaps his hand and tells him not to touch her. Caroline doesn't remember anything, and Thomas tries to explain what happened and how it all sort of naturally happened. And he says that they made love, and she is floored. She has no recollection of this at all, and she screams no. After that, we see Steffi, and she barges into Wyatt's place and says that she wants all the copies destroyed. She's actually just ordering him around. She wants him to find out where all the copies are and get rid of him. And she tells Wyatt that Ivy told her that she owns her and she can't live like this and doesn't want it. And she reminds him if the video goes viral, she'll be massacred in public. She doesn't want that. And then they argue over the legitimacy of whether there's a rock in Allie's hand or not. And Steffi says that, you know what, Ivy's changed, and she said maybe you've changed as well. And then she says she's holding the video over her head and that she wants this to stop and she wants to protect herself. Now Wyatt is kind of looking like he's not going to go along with this, but we're not sure yet. After that, we see Brooke, and she tries to convince Ridge that he and Caroline aren't on the same course, but then she switches gears and tells Ridge that vasectomies can sometimes be reversed. So all of a sudden Ridge has hope. This is actually a major plot twist. I don't know why it came from Brooke. Doesn't really make sense because she's trying to keep them apart, but it did come from her. Now after that, we go back to Caroline, and she tells Thomas that she took anti-anxiety pills and that she didn't want to make love to him, that it wasn't what she wanted. But Thomas is like, you know, you're drinking, you took the pills. And he says that he didn't know that she was on the pills. Had he known that, maybe it wouldn't have gone that way, and he had the best of intentions. And he says once the effect of the pills wear off, she'll remember that she really wanted to be with him, but she's not having any of this. And he tries to say that it was amazing and special, and Caroline blasts him for taking advantage of her. And Thomas is alarmed. He's actually looks like he's terrified. Now after, we go back to Wyatt, and he tells Steffi that he's not doing it. He turns her down flat and tells her, why doesn't she go get Liam to do this and he can go be the hero? So this brings up more of his feelings against Liam. And Steffi thinks that, you know, both him and Ivy are bitter because they can't be with the people they want, and they're lashing out. She tells him to do the right thing and to get rid of the video. Now the last thing we see Thomas, and he tries to convince Caroline that it was consensual, but Caroline says there's no way it's consensual. In her right mind, there's no way she wanted this, and she kicks him out. And right after that, she gets a call from, guess who, Ridge, and he says he needs to speak to her. Now she is beside herself. She's upset. He obviously doesn't know the real reason why, and she says that she can't, and she hangs up. And then Ridge turns to Brooke and says that he has to find Caroline. And she asks him what he's going to do, but he won't tell her what he's going to do. And then the last thing we see is Caroline just sobbing, laying on the bed. And that's where we leave it. Anyways, huge episode. Thanks for checking it out. Don't forget to follow us on social media. It's Paul, it's B&B Talk. Have a great day.